Anthony Oliver, an artist who came from nothing, has sent shockwaves through Hollywood with a tune focusing on the tip top I needed to pull off out and about and make this video a mall, my adrenaline siphoning man. Am annoyed at the present time, and he has called for individuals to quit burning through such a lot of cash on shows and taking care of companies. I don't buy celebrity passes at whatever cost they're on. E consented to the show, I surmise, without requesting the what the ticket cost. Or, don't pay $100 for a ticket that is for, and since he has circulated around the web with his tune censoring the tip top, he has encouraged individuals not to follow through on disgusting costs for his shows, assuming we must drop the scene and play elsewhere. We will, consent to it, and I don't believe that you should pay it so kindly. Don't country vocalist Oliver Anthony chose to drop his forthcoming gig in Knoxville, Tennessee, on the grounds that the setting Cotton looked at. Joe raised ticket costs past what he found sensible. Anthony rose to distinction last month with his politically charged tune Rich Men North of Richmond that immediately became famous online, taking to his authority Facebook page. Anthony apologized at the cost climb at Cotton, looked at Joe and made sense of I would rather do nothing that is in excess of $40 a ticket, preferably something like $25 a piece. These should be reasonable shows. Kindly don't pay $90 for a ticket. He communicated dissatisfaction about the additional charges for celebrity meet and welcomes, expressing that they ought to be free. He guaranteed his fans that he would iron out the subtleties and conceivably reschedule the occasion at an alternate setting. I think we want to make a stride back and one. Again, imagine what we believe the following 20 or 30 years should seem to be. And the next day, Anthony tended to claims made by Cotton peered toward Joe in regards to extravagant execution expenses, explained. Ning that the most he had produced using a show was $35,000. He additionally underscored that they've done free shows and have good cause exhibitions arranged. While disheartened by the circumstance, Anthony wished Cotton peered toward Joe the best. He got a sense of ownership with not being more associated with the booking system and reference plans to perform at the Knoxville Conference Hall 2 or 3 days after the initially planned show. In light of Anthony's new hit melody Rich Men North of Richmond, many have commended its validness and crude portrayal of the common. The melody has reverberated, with millions being hailed as the descent melody of our age. Anthony's direct voice and guitar, with next to no enhancements, caught the pith of common battles, revealing insight into the disregarded existences of unfortunate working men making progress toward a superior future. The tune's emphasis on the abuse of the regular workers and the influence applied by large partnerships and government offices sounds valid for the majority. The decision of North of Richmond as a kind of perspective point in the tune interfaces with Richmond, Virginia's verifiable importance as the Confederate capital during the nationwide conflict, alluding to Anthony's political leanings. It merits thinking about this inside a progression of ongoing fights from the right inclining lower class. Take, for instance, The Sound of Opportunity, Alejandro Monteverde, 2023, a movie in view of a genuine story where a previous government specialist transforms into a vigilante to protect kids from Latin America. The liberal media fairly excused this unforeseen low financial plan accomplishment in spite of it outflanking significant blockbuster films at the U.S. film industry. This excusal is because of the relationship of its star Jim Caviezel with QAnon paranoid fears. Curiously, the film depicts a few youngsters being sold as Essex to forest development pioneers in Colombia, recommending an upsetting connection between East Hollywood's tip-top and the super progressive left. On another note, it seems Oliver Anthony's ascent to distinction could definitely stand out, potentially placing him in an unstable circumstance. Informant Edward Snowden has raised eyes that the FBI may be watching out for the artist after his tune reprimanding the tip-top acquired far and wide prominence. Anthony, at 31 years old, turned into a mind-blowing phenomenon with his melody Richmond, which communicates the battle of buckling down, setting duties and feeling like life is flipping away. This hymn for the middle class has resounded with many soaring to the highest point of the board Hot 100 diagram. Its effect has even arrived at the domain of government. All issues being played during the current week's 2024 conservative official essential discussion. Snowden, known for releasing characterized NSA data in 2013, accepts that Anthony's rising popularity and the solid message in his music might make him a concentration For the FBI, subsequent to hitting besting the iTunes list and tweeting like this, the FBI will account for him. One more sort of rundown to Snowden referenced on his Twitter account, underlining the historical backdrop of the FBI keeping up. With records on well-known individuals, Anthony's frank tweets like you weren't destined to simply cover bills and bite the dust have added to his profile. He's additionally answered the utilization of his melody in a political setting in a new YouTube video. He communicated entertainment that his tune was utilized in the conservative discussion, explaining that it was about individuals on the stage. He likewise voiced his disappointment about endeavors to adjust his message to explicit political affiliations, focusing on that his music's message is more extensive than a specific gatherings plan. The notice of John Denver and Snowden's post is an update that well-known individuals have generally been examined by experts for their perspectives and activities. Denver, for example, had an FBI record opened in the wake of going to an enemy of war rally in 1971, combined with subtleties of medication use in his self-portrayal, Bring Me Back Home, a self-portrayal distributed in 1994. Oliver Anthony music's fast ascent to the highest point of the board graphs has blown some mind-snatching titles, and in any event, arrival him an astounding notice at the primary conservative official discussion. This achievement has set another benchmark for the direction of a viral hit single in only 7 days. In the wake of delivering a basic video of Anthony enthusiastically tending to the tip-top with Richmond north of Richmond, the generally obscure vocalist, lyricist, and previous assembly line laborer took off to #1 on the Bulletin Hot 100. This was an earth-shattering second, being whenever a craftsman first appeared at the top with no earlier diagram history. This brilliant ascent was energized by help from powerful moderate savants and outlets like Fox News, pushing the melody into the spotlight and making a star out of the unassuming craftsman conceived Christopher Anthony Lunsford. He embraced the stage name Oliver Anthony Music as a recognition for his granddad, adding music to keep away from disarray with one more craftsman in that EEDM scene. All through this hurricane excursion, Anthony, who gladly keeps up with his freedom, turned down recording contract offers coming to as high as $8 million. He overwhelmingly let his music communicate everything, playing out a solitary free show, sharing a nitty-gritty music video, and shouting out just when he felt his words were being distorted, as seen during the Fox News official discussion. This genuinely American story changed Anthony into a mind-blowing phenomenon, demonstrating that there are presently different pathways to progress in the music business. We should investigate the timetable of Anthony's exceptional and lightning-quick ascent to fame. It's muddled precisely when Anthony began transferring his music, yet his authority YouTube page has clasped going back 3 years. These incorporate fronts of specialists like Tyler Childers and Billie Eilish, recordings of his German shepherds playing in a river, and one of his underlying tunes shared on Spotify, the soul-filled track Ain't Got a Dollar. This resonator guitar and vocal tune, delivered on September 21, 2022, catches the embodiment of Anthony's moderate methodology, including sincere verses about existence difficulties and straightforwardness. Hailing from Farmville, Virginia, Anthony transferred an almost 10-minute video to YouTube on August 7.